the first day in full pads, talked to our guys just about what that meant before today. To come out here and have it be this hot was actually a blessing for all of us. Thought our guys really handled it well. Came out of it pretty injury-free. It's a work week that we've got behind us. We don't ever get practice 6 again, so everybody else in the country's got the same opportunity that we have. So our guys maximized it. We'll take advantage of this afternoon with recovery, get over and watch the film, jump into some install. We'll take Sunday as a day off. By NCAA rules, I got to give them a day, so we'll just use that as a recovery day. We can work with them a couple hours, but really excited for the first week to be behind us and be where we're at.
You had family out here today. Was that your family plus other coaches' family?
During the week, they're not in school yet, but a lot of our kids are in different camps and whatnot. So I knew Saturday would be a lot of people out there, and actually it's worked out pretty nice. I'm sure a lot of you guys have been around before. I think the grass field looks really good. Our guys were excited. It went so well out there yesterday. Being the first day in full pads, I wanted to stay back out there today, and that's what we did. And it's always fun to have family around.
Coach, a weekend here. Are you starting to get an idea of what the depth chart's going to look like?
I think so. We'll have a pretty intense personnel meeting tomorrow. How about that catch? On my foot. Can't push that, baby. I think we'll have a pretty good idea, at least after 6 practices, especially some of the freshmen, who we haven't seen before. But then there's so many guys: Kalen Tolson, Tariq Barnes, Jake Hansen at the linebacker position alone, who we haven't seen before, right? Guys that got out there and we're in the middle of practice today. Alex Palcho was out there, Bobo was out there, Jamal Woods, and there's one more guy. There was 3 guys that, Kalen Tolson had team reps today for the first time. So if everything goes well, they feel good out of it today, then they'll actually be allowed to practice in the scrimmage situation on Monday.
What's the process for, we saw Mike Epstein out there doing indies. What's the process for him to get him back?
So he's actually cleared. He's 100% on board. We're doing a maintenance with him where he practices basically every other day. So this week they practice, guys under his schedule practiced practice Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. We did a lot of soft tissue recovery, some specific rehab, but also conditioning for them that's very position specific. We'll get tomorrow off, and those guys should be allowed to scrimmage on Monday.
What's maybe the thing you've been most pleased with here after the first full week?
Their attitude, their energy. There's a coach, you're always going to find things that you got to improve, but I thought overall, just their attitude, their demeanor, the way they're communicating. There's a lot of times where I'm standing back and I'm obviously watching what's going on, but I'm listening to our guys that aren't on the field, just how they're communicating and talking. It's been very positive.
Do you feel like you accomplished what you wanted to when you set out for this first week of camp?
This first week, we really wanted to get just, nothing really game plan wise, just kind of executing Illinois football, offense, defense, special teams. Got all 4 phases of the kicking game installed again from the spring, offensively, defensively. Put in some wrinkles from where we were last spring, and then today capped it off with a full day in pads. So it's been a lot of fun in that regard.
Guys looked a little tired out there. I mean, being 5 days and the first day in pads.
Yeah.
Was it any much of a transition going into
Well, it was actually 6 days, right? So we practiced Monday, so today was the 6th day. I knew it was going to be a drag. I'd scheduled it that way. By NCAA rules, we couldn't have any pads on, full pads until today. Tomorrow I'll have the day off, kind of regroup a little bit. The intention is to scrimmage Monday unless there's something dramatic happens that I want to move it to Tuesday, but I think for the most part we'll stay on track and very, very happy with where they're at.
You've seen some position switches obviously from the spring to that. Do you think you're about at a place where you're done, or do you evaluate after the first week?
I think we'll add maybe 1 to 2 more players on our roster that aren't here yet, there's always the opportunity. We'll kind of sit down and evaluate tomorrow on Sunday our current roster, see if there's some guys that maybe help us at other positions. Maybe it won't be as dramatic, but maybe we want to use Max Rosenthal at a certain spot at the Y or the U. Maybe we want to use Casey Washington as a certain level as a wide receiver, Isaiah at a certain slot, get a little bit more position specific as we focus in. But there's some good competition. Competition brings the best out of people, and I think our guys have done a good job of that.
Jason Brennan looks like the starting quarterback. Backing him up, what's the rotation look like?
Everybody's competing. There's a depth chart because we had to start the week. BP's obviously got us a really good chance to be successful if we play the game tomorrow. Like I saw TP said the other day, we'd probably be the first guy in the game, but I'm not really worried about depth chart. We're worried about execution. We're worried about how guys play. We're worried about depth chart about 10 days out from the opener.
When you mentioned maybe adding a couple guys to the roster, is that a freshman, a transfer, a walk-on, some combination of that?
Wait and see. The one thing that I've been very happy with is to get our roster to 120. It's just quickly how things can change. Obviously, Jordan gets hurt, right? So now all of a sudden if we came in at 120, now we're down to 119. I've had a couple guys get some injuries that might be out significant time, especially some non-scholarship players, and all of a sudden that's going to take effect on your whole number. So we weren't at max 120, but that's where I want to get to.
What do you want to take away from just getting in pads? I know obviously it's hot and things like what guys are always excited to put them on and I guess get a little closer to football.
Yeah, I made the comment on Wednesday when we went to half pack, today when we went full pads. It shouldn't be, oh, we got full pads today. It should be, oh, we got full pads today, right? It's the outlook, it's the idea, the anticipation, and I think our guys have bought into that 100 times over. The last 4 periods of practice today were probably the most intense. Couldn't be more excited about just how they're handling that aspect, right? Like, it's full pads, it's a chance to play big boy football, and I think they rose up to the challenge.
Is there that same kind of anticipation for a scrimmage where it's, maybe they're looking forward to moving on past the drills and actually playing a little bit?
We'll be in the stadium, right? So I think that's got to add something. Part of when we practice in the stadium is we want to get used to the stadium. So we'll be in the stadium for our scrimmage, and it'll be tackle football, right? So it'll be no holds barred. It'll be scripted, some parts of it. Some of it will be unscripted, where we're moving the ball, let the coordinators get used to calling plays. By NCAA rules, we only get 2 scrimmages before the opener. So this first scrimmage is a big one.
We've heard so much about talking and listening, and it seems like communication for you guys. That's something you wanted to ramp up. Was it about the level that you wanted it at when you got here? What's your relationship?
Yeah, you know what? One of the things I stressed to these guys early was I can't control anything other paths. I can just control what's in front of us. And communication for me in every part of my life for 51 years has been, when you have good communication, you usually have good results, right? When you have poor communication, now it's up for chance, right? And if we can communicate effectively as a staff, we can effectively communicate with our players, and players can communicate to the coaches, and most importantly, if our players can communicate with each other, that's when you got something special. And I think the more talk we hear, right, whether it be at the dinner table, whether it be in the locker room, whether it be in between meetings, whether it be out of practice, the more they're talking about football, the better chance we have.
What does Sunday look like for the staff with no practices? It's a lot of film. What's
a lot of our guys are pretty faith-based, so I'll give them an opportunity to be with their families in the morning, do what they want to do, what they choose to do. We won't bring the players over. I think the first thing is scheduled at 1:30, so it'll be a lot of just kind of review of today, get ourselves ready, and then post meetings on Sunday at 4:30. Then we'll do a lot of work on Sunday night to get ready for Monday's scrimmage.
Which I assume that Monday you're going to try to emulate game situations.
Yeah.
Have you decided which coaches are going to be where, who's in the box?
Well, the scrimmage, this first scrimmage will be very, very similar to a practice. We're going to conduct it offense, defense, special teams. We're going to do a mock game 8 days out from the scrimmage. It'll be what you're kind of referring to, where the coaches are going to be in their respective game positions. Our second scrimmage may have a little bit of that, but nothing comparable to we got a pretty good one in the spring game in that regards.
Do you have officials?
We do.
On Monday?
Yep, Monday and Tuesday, Monday and the next Monday.
Chase and Sydney have really gone all in on this nutrition stuff in the last several months. How impressive is it for you as a head coach to see 2 guys really put that much into their bodies and keep themselves healthy?
Well, it's discipline, right? I think those guys are kind of extremists in a lot of different things, right? They really are very well tuned in to what their body is and how it then correlates to how they perform. So I'm all for all of our guys. They take, Jade has done a tremendous job as our team nutritionist, has really catered everybody's meals to what they, as specific as they can. Josh has really probably has done as much change in that department than anything else since I've been here about the way we have supported our student athletes in fueling, which is food and hydration, and they're definitely guys that take full advantage of it.
We talked to Jordan earlier this week about the diversity in the wide receiver room. We talked about the diversity in the running back room. What do you like about that wide receiver room? Just having different looks and different types.
Well, there are new guys there, right? So Casey Washington wasn't there in the spring. Jafar Armstrong wasn't there in the spring. A variety of different guys kind of stepping into new roles. Isaiah Williams was there in the spring, but he was a quarterback, right? So really 3 guys that can kind of factor into what we're doing. I thought Hightower's had Davion Campbell had a good day yesterday. There's a couple newcomers, freshmen that have stood out a little bit, so I'm excited about that group, and it's probably one of the groups that's changed dramatically, since the spring game.
I know you've always been a run-first kind of offense, your days in Wisconsin. With the offensive line you have, plus Blake Jersati and Jack Badanovich, you guys have a pretty good up front going as camp starts. A lot of competition, I guess, too.
I appreciate the question, but if you look statistically at what I did, right, I had good running backs that a lot of people refer to, but when we were successful, we ran the ball for 200 and threw the ball for 200. Can't get much more balance than that, right? So, the key for us is to be balanced, and the key for us is to do what we have to do to win games. If it involves, running for 300, we're going to try to run for 300. If it ball's thrown for 300, we'll throw for 300. We'll do what we take to win, but my time at other places is behind me, right? Whether we want to view it as whatever we think it is or what it really was, the fact is all I can worry about is what Illinois is.
What do you think about the return of Blake Jarosati?
Blake's been awesome. Took all the reps today at guard, then all of a sudden switched to, center at the Devo practice. Great communicator, highly intelligent, great motor, a great fit for that program. Him and Badovniak, both have been really impressive.
Kevin yesterday talked like you guys have been here since December, January, but you've only had 19 or so practices, 20.
Yeah.
How much are you still learning about your guy? I know it's been a lot of months, but not a lot of on the field.
Today is practice 21 that we've been together, right? So expectations are always, something that takes a while to learn, and I couldn't be more, again, I think our coaches, right, just getting used to each other. Even though a lot of these guys have been around me, they're in different roles, they're in different situations, they're in guys, offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, guys I've never worked with before. So there's a lot of learning that the coaches have to take place, and then it carries forward to me.
Owen Carney and Isaiah Gay bring some similar things to the field. Can we expect to see those guys on the field together or opposite each other, or are they playing the same position?
No, they're playing both, in theory, outside linebacker, but they both play different roles. We have guys that play different responsibilities in our scheme, but those two guys are very different players, very, very unique skill sets in both of them. But they will be used, one of the things that I think Kevin's done a really nice job with those guys is maximizing their strengths, minimizing their weaknesses, playing with extension, making them set the edge, the things that we really believe in on the perimeter.
Looks like we saw a picture of maybe the high school coaches Hall of Fame thing coming back up.
Oh, yeah.
What's that mean to you? Why is that important to you to maybe bring back?
Well, from our opening press conference to where we are today, there's been nobody more important than our Illinois high school football players, coaches, programs. I'm a former Illinois high school football player, so I think Bret was actually one of the ones that brought it up. I know Pat Ryan we're going to basically honor the reigning high school state champion every year in memorial here and hang it in a way that they can come back and see themselves being honored. It jumped out to me when I think it was Badovniak made a comment that his last game when he played here, he thought it was his last game, and now he gets to come back here and play on his home field. I know Kendrick as well played one of his last games here, and when I started hearing that kind of turned it over in my mind. Any way that we can outreach and bolster our appreciation for the high school coaches, that's what we'll do.